forecast is not good for today. I'm out in between rain showers. Let's get to work on burying this pipe and getting the strings out so that I can mark the edges of the track bed. All this today will make sense if you've seen the previous videos in this mini-series. Hi, I'm Warren Brand and welcome to another Linleys video. A few bits to clear to start us off. Well, I've worked out most of the geometry of the underground ducting here. I know that this one's got to come from there to join up with some sort of junction point in this area. So that's got to go in. I'm going to do that today. But I do need to work out other details as well. I need like a control panel somewhere either tucked out the way there or tucked out the way here, probably here actually, and therefore some other underground ducting routes. And I also need a way of getting from here to the track bed. Here's easy, but this higher level trackway here may need more piping coming off here. Got some planning to do still. Here we go, some real digging. First bulb found. Trying to avoid disturbing the ground in these locations because there's bulbs just below the ground here. That's a good start. I will want to make it deeper, but that's the basic location of where that ground tubing will go, pretty well in line with the gap that I've got there. So that's a good start, although we'll need to go lower. I can access cable-wise the track here and take other tubing off as I need to. That is good. Right, so the next thing is to get the alignment right for this bit of ground tubing here. Dig a trench, lay it, cut a hole in this and get that in. So let's mark out the width of this necessary trench. There. So that should mark the width thereabouts of the trench. I have my supervisor making sure that there are no plants in the ground that are going to be disturbed. Okay, well I've got to go a bit deeper here, obviously. Let's just get the tubing in, check on the sort of general alignment. Looks like I've been given a cup of coffee. Looks like it's coffee time for a moment. Cheers. Well, that was a nice little break for coffee, but I think it's about to rain again. I have been pondering further the general layout and arrangements for the station and depot area. And I've sort of established the basic parameters of what I want to achieve in this area. So it comes down to this. Yes, 2 track routes, one as a platform, one as a bay, siding, depot, working area for live steam, etc. I do want to include a turntable, and the best option is at that end, primarily so that I can use it as a reversing point for the engine on the front of a train that stops here. It can detach, draw forward on the turntable, rotate, and then return back down this bay siding. If I didn't have the turntable there, that would be okay. I could have a standard junction there, a single set of points and a run-off line so that I can reverse back down the siding. But I do want to include a turntable. It's got to go somewhere, and why not put it there and make use of it routinely for turning engines round instead of detaching, reversing up the bay line and then running round, fiddling around at a turntable somewhere else. At the moment, that nails it. Turntable there. 2 running lines, at least 2.5 meters long. Junction here, crossover junction, standard, and then the rest of it is double track at the end there. On a previous video, a subscriber very helpfully commented as to whether I needed a turntable or not. In fact, simply because I do have the plans to have a Y junction, triangle junction further up the line. I am going to stick with having a turntable, and I've thought this through rather a lot actually, but I'm going to stick with having a turntable for kind of 2 reasons. One is I quite like the idea of having a turntable, so there's that matter as well, a bit of a challenge in designing and constructing one and building it into the operation of the railway. And secondly, which is a key factor here, the triangle junction is quite a way up the line. It's not going to be within the station area or station limits for control. So to turn a loco, the loco would need turning all the way up, handing over to another signal box control, and then sending it round and back, which I really don't want to do. So as the plans are at the moment, yep, indeed, I'm going to stick with the idea of having a turntable somewhere within the station limits, local control here, probably here, although I still do have the option of including it further up the line. So let's stick with that for the moment. Thank you to the subscriber who commented. Appreciate the comment. Well, I'm not really sure how far down to inset this really. There's a root in the way, so I won't get the bottom any lower, but I could chop the top off now. Well, I could chop it off now, but I don't really know how high this flower border earth surface will be. Here I might have some edging at the back, for example, along the edge of the track bed. Earth might come up to here more. Don't really know, so there's no point me cutting it right at the moment. I can easily cut it later, so I'm going to leave it at this height. But before burying this big vertical tube thing, I need to cut the holes in to get the joining uppy pipes ready to go in. I've not only got one that goes from here to there, won't be this one, it'll be the slightly flexy one, but I'll use this as a marker. In addition to that, I've got some trunking to have to junction point over here and a continuity link one round to the next section round. So I've got some more cutting of holes to do to simplify the cutting of the hole. I won't cut this one in situ. I'll have to cut that one because that's already buried. Just simply mark a hole of the centre and then I cut it from the outside to the right size. Well, that's that one marked out. There were two more to do low level, one to go over to the main control panel, and that's probably at this angle, and another one to link off down the line, probably at this angle. Haven't got those worked out exactly, but I can approximate and get that pretty well right. I'll do this one first. There we are. Before I cut the holes, I'm just going to reduce the height of this a little bit here. This is upside down at the moment. Just here is where one of the root points go. So I'm just going to lower it just a little bit. So the next is to cut these holes. So all I usually do, make it very easy, mark out the overall size with 4 holes. That's the basic size, and then just hack it out with an electric saw. Now I aim to make the hole a little bit on the small side so that I can always nibble and make it a bit bigger. And this pipe, I think it's smaller than the crinkly pipe that I've got. So let's see how this fits. Oh, looking good. Oh, looking very good. That'll just push in there nicely. So that's one done, 2 to go. Excellent. 3 holes cut. Now that doesn't account for the top ones, but I won't cut them until I know what's happening for the local distribution. I'll explain that later on. Lots going on here. This is really not a very elegant way of cutting a hole. I've cut this piece of tubing to the right length, just about 20mm long in each direction so that it inserts and goes proud once it's inside the vertical pipes. So to get this in, I'm going to go in this one, locate it here and drop that in. I need to check the slope of this. I either have a bit of a hump if the ends are equal in height, or have a bit of a full one way. That helps avoid pooling of any water. Excellent, and I think there's a little bit of a fall in that direction. Let's just check. Excellent, half a bubble fall in that direction, which is perfect. Well, in the usual way of just trying to get on with it, I was just about to backfill on top of that ground piping, but I then realised then I can't easily get this out. Now, I might not need to get this out, except I'd like to get this in so that it's easier while this is flexible. So this is the ground pipe that will connect all of the main system cabling from a control panel, the electronic control panel, into the system. So I need to get this pipe in. There will be one that goes off down that track, but I haven't got that sorted yet. So I can put that in from the side later on, even if I have to cut the steel and get that in from the outside. I can deal with that. But while I'm working on this, I might as well get this in. I bought this ages ago for this purpose. This is just a 110 standard drainage pipe. It's all a bit of an overkill, you could say. You know, I'm not going to have that many cables, am I? It's just easier to work drawing cables through if you've got more capacity. So that will go somewhere in the corner there. Now I've obviously got this track bed to contend with, so whether I dig underneath or just simply knock the concrete out, I'll work that out as I go in the next few minutes, I think. Not sure how easy or difficult this will be, and I don't know if I'm going to have to lift this, cut out this bit of concrete to get the tubing underneath. I'll spend a few minutes digging, otherwise I can easily chop it out. But I need to be careful. Obviously the post has got its footing in there, concrete footing that I put in years ago, so I'll have to bring the piping up more here, I think. Well, that's okay. Yep, that's where the foundation is for the fence post, so I reckon I can get up just about in this position here. Well, this is rather curvy at the moment. I will want it straight, so that will probably go in just about there. This has got to go quite a bit down, of course, and that will straighten up, so the control box will be more or less in that position. So let's just see what is beneath in here. Well, the question remains, can I mine underneath here, bore out, mine and dig to get the tubing in to couple here and here together underneath the track bed? I don't know. Let's try. Well, I've got an old spade without a handle. Let's see if that'll help. Well, I've certainly done easier digging, but that might go through. Some of that I've done by hand, and I'm about halfway, more than halfway. I've got to get a bit lower. Will you go in? Oh yes, you do. That's it. It's too long at the moment. Too long. This piece of pipe is now cut to length. Might be about 20mm too long, but I'd rather cut it fractionally too long than too short. So sequence this in, but too far, not with that on. That hooking down, this back into that hole, that on the end. Is that going to work? That's it. Part one. Part two. That's good. Can I get this piece of pipe in sideways? Oh yes, you're in. Right, I've got to go too far to start with. And then this. Will you go on there? Oh, no, on. Excellent. Well, that I am very pleased about. Well, I've got a bit of a three-way junction going on here. So obviously the main feed from here, up feed to the control box, and another sort of main onward feed round to the next control box. That's the deep level, but in addition, later on, I won't do it today, I need to add some higher level trunking, various points to connect to the local track bed areas. So probably one here to feed and service this side, another one here, and I will need a couple off that will link up to the high level track over here as well, but I won't do that for the moment because that's easy. I can do that with a hole saw. Well pleased. I think now I'm good to do some backfilling. Well, this is the easy bit, putting the earth back in again. Tease these back again. I tucked them around the back of this dead stump. You wouldn't even know there's a pipe there now, would you? Okay, let's backfill along here now. Oh look, there's a track bed there. Well, it is about time for a bit of a tidy up of tools, but I'm well chuffed with that groundwork. I'm pleased. I can now look at the alignment without worrying about stuff under the ground and what else I need to do. Well, I've been pondering this, thinking about it, the geometry, heights, size of the turntable, exact location of the turntable, the way the track will feed into and take away from the turntable. But that plant, rubbishy thing that it is going to go, so I've got a better view of the space that I've got there. That circle is about 800mm diameter. Might be too big, might be too small. I'd certainly get a couple of LGB logos on there, or probably a longer one. I could make it bigger. I'll have a surround, flat deck, motor house somewhere there or here. This track will have a slight curve in. Obviously the track on the turntable will be dead straight. This one may or may not need a little bit of a curve. So the distance between the in and out will be just enough clearance. So the turntable will never rotate a full 360. All it needs to do is turn around from there to here. Ideal. And also from, say, here, I can have a station building at the back there, station canopy, platform. I can have a 2.5 metre long train, or 2 metre long train, 2.5 metre long platform, dead straight, working away back there. So there we have it. I think that's it for today. There's a little bit more light, but I've done all I feel I was going to do today. Got the alignment more or less sorted all the ground trunking. Just do a little tidy up. Thank you very much for watching this episode, and I hope you're following along with the full series. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.